Hi, I'm Pawani Narayanasamy from Section 55. So today I'm going to talk about the introduction of elections. So basically, elections are high stakes battles in countrywide politics, and an electoral gadget is a collection of felony suggestions for challenge elections and judging their ethics. General elections are held no extra than 5 years after the presiding election. By-elections are held within inside the event of a consultant's lack of lifestyle or if a vacancy takes region due to a consultant's absence from meetings for an extended length. The electoral gadget is significant because it has a significant and independent impact on electoral effects, and because of this, the stableness of energy among candidates within inside the political gadgets, example, and energy struggle. This fight for energy is unavoidably manifestations of conspicuous societal uh, cleavage, channeled and buffered with the resource of the use of formal political structures, of which the election gadget is a component. Political mobilization in Malaysia is based totally mostly on ethnic divisions, and energy struggles are fought amongst political occasions, um, representing extremely good ethnic groupings. As a result, it's far critical to start with some number one fact about the United States of America's political budget and plural society as well. So today my topic is about voters. So basically, voters electorate have the proper or capacity to pick who we need for a political workplace. To vote, we should be as a minimum 18 years old and a citizen of the state. Um, in 2013, the court struck down a key provision of the act regarding the federal oversight or casting guidelines in a state. Moreover, in trendy Malaysian vote for who will take a seat down within inside the lower house of parliament, uh, called the Dewan Rakyat, comprising 222 seats. This is a federal stage vote. A constituency is a place inside a nation. Each nation has a diverse number of federal and nation constitutions as well. Besides that, we do have a precept. A precept is called the one man, one vote. It's not over with every vote is same to every different, and it's a far one of the center's ideas. This principle has been renowned the world over as one of the center human rights of a democratic society, and may be determined in Article 25 of the United Nations International Covenant of Civil and Political Rights. And the Article 21 of the United Nations Human Rights Committee General Comment 25. This principle of one man, one vote turned into enshrined below Article 116. So that's all from me. Thank you so much.
Assalamualaikum and hi, good day to everyone. My name is Nozurila Bint Ibrahim, and now I present to you about my part in election topic, which is requirements. So, as you can see in the slides here, the first point is one seat represent each area in a parliament, which refer normally the candidates for the 222 seats are divided into their respective constituencies, which is in a simple term, there are one seat to represent each area in a parliament. And the second point is nominees candidate usually will be either with the nominees of political parties or running as independent. And the third point is the candidate must be proposed and seconded by other eligible voters. So, as everyone knows, election happens every 5 years or once when the YDPA dissolved the parliament. So, in order to appointed as the leaders, there will be requirements need to be complied by the candidates. So let's see the next slide. The election commission shall be appointed by the YDPA, and any member of election commission shall remove if any member undischarged with corrupt, engage in any paid office or employment outside of the duties of his office, or either member of House of Parliament or Legislative Assembly of a state. And the last slide is there are two types of election, which is general election and small election. The general election refers means when the parliament and state legislature dissolve after the expiration of 5 years, and the small election happen when or due to unexpected incidents such as death, resignation, disqualification, and revocation of election results by electoral court. So that's my brief explanation about requirement. So if you want to know more about elections in Malaysia, you can make your own research on the website. So that's it. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon everyone. Today I'm Parimal Sivabalam. I'm going to present about my task, which is the selection of candidates for her election purpose. First of all, the candidate. What is candidate? Candidate is sometimes known as nominees who is vying for an award or honor, and who is applying for the selection purpose. Selection in an election purpose. Not only that, they are considered to be a position offer in a group. During the election purpose, individuals participate in primaries or caucuses in 48 states today to elect delegates who support their preferred presidential candidate. The presidential candidate with the most state delegate votes wins the party nomination at the National Party Convention. The best way for a candidate to win an election is in the presidential and vice presidential elections. An absolute majority or half of the total plus one electoral vote is required to win. To be elected to the post of president or vice president, a candidate must receive at least 270 votes from 530 electors. Not only that, in the context of election for public office in direct democracy, a candidate can be nominated by any eligible person. If any parliamentary procedures are used, the nominee has to be seconded. In such case, it is not required or even possible that the members of the electorate to be familiar with all the eligible persons in their area. Though such system may involve indirect election at larger geographic levels to ensure that some first-hand familiarity among potential electors can exist at these levels for the elections.
Okay, so the Malaysian election consists of two main levels, which is the federal and the state level. They also have this by-election. It is held when a seat in the Dewan Rakyat falls empty, so that is when the by-election will be held. And under this federal level, we have in the election of the federal level, the 222 members House of Representatives is elected by the people. Members are elected using the first past the post system from single member constituencies depending on the populations. So the federal government will be formed by the party with the most seats in the House of Representatives, which is the Dewan Rakyat. And every 5 years, this event will be held. Before the end of the 5 years, the Prime Minister can request that the Yang di-Pertuan Agong to dissolve the Parliament. So under the state level, the representative to the Dewan Undangan Negeri are elected by the people, and the number of MPs varies by the state, with Sarawak having as many as 71 electorates, and police having little as 15. And state elections are usually held concurrently with legislative elections. However, each state can actually choose when to hold its elections. According to the Article 113, Clause 1, an election commission to be established by Article 114 shall conduct elections of the House of Representatives and the Legislative Assemblies of the states, as well as compile and modify electoral records for such elections according to the federal law. And clause number 4, the election commissions may be authorized by federal or state legislation to conduct the elections other than those described in the clause 1. So the election commission may also create rules to carry out its activities under this article to the extent where they are required, but any such rules must comply with the federal law.
Good day to my lecturers and my friends. I am Sharmini Vasandan. I am here for today to explain about my part, which is procedure of election. Procedure of election are looked in two ways. One is federal levels and also state levels. Federal level election are those for membership in the Dewan Rakyat, the lowest are for parliaments. State level election are for those membership in the various state legislative embassies, the head of executive branch at both the federal and state levels. The Prime Minister and Menteri Besar, Chief Minister, respectively, are incredibly elected, usually filled by a member of a majority party coalition in the respective legislatures. And now, let's talk about election process. Election process are the nomination process. Nomination centers are set up in a variation location by the election commission to allow candidates to register themselves. Typically, any Malaysian citizen may register as a candidate unless disqualified. Candidates file the appropriate forms and the place monetary deposit. The deposit was Ringgit Malaysia 5,000 to contest a parliamentary seat, or Ringgit Malaysia 3,000 to contest a state embassy seat. This amount has been changed to Malaysia Ringgit 10,000 and Malaysia Ringgit 5,000 respectively in 2004. Additionally, in 2004, it was required that each candidate provide a Ringgit Malaysia 5,000 deposit for cleaning up banners, poster after the election. The increase is seen by some of having led to the government winning a recording number of seats without consent in 2004. The deposit is used to pay for infringement of election law and they returned after polling days. Usually the candidate loses and fails to generate more than 1/8 of the vote. Campaign. The campaign period permitted by law runs from the dates of nomination day until polling day. Campaigning amongst opposite parties is often hampered by a lack of access to government-controlled media. Prior in the 1999 general election, opposite parties were given a brief period of airtime in the Public Radio Television Malaysia (RTM) radio station to broadcast their manifestos. However, the government announced the change of policies in 1999. It is that as RTM was a government on preference owned the given to government parties. Now let's talk about voting process. Only registered election May citizen 18 years old and above must register in the voters registry with the election commission via any officers affiliated in the election commission. Post offices with the computerized and facilities or specific counters before voting. After identity qualification at the voting center, each voters receive 2 paper ballots, one of the parliamentary seat of the constituencies, another one for the state embassy seats. In federal territories where there are no state embassies, and states vote states election in a held of different date. Each voters receive only a ballot for the parliament seat. Each voters walk into an individual booth to mark ballots while maintaining confidentially. The voters marks on the ballot the candidate of his or her choice with a cross beside the candidate's name and party symbols. After completing, the voters float the ballots and drop into the separately ballot boxes of parliament and the seats of embassies.
Now move on to the conclusion part, which is the elections are a critical opportunity for democratization and a political emancipation. Okay, furthermore, basic civil liberties like freedom of expressions, associations, and assembly are essential for a free and open elections. Not only that, the elections are a critical opportunity to further democratizations and promote the liberalization. Okay, certain civic liberties such as the freedom of speech, association, and assembly are necessary for free and fair election.